Most people are living on autopilot, following what they should do instead of tapping into honoring and acting on what they actually want and need instead. Look, past circumstances, situations, people, conversations have led you to believe what you should do. Those thoughts, feelings, and actions become beliefs, which become actions, which become subconscious standards. And it becomes really easy to forget to stop and ask yourself, what do I actually want or need in this situation? That's why today's Powerback is about recognizing how many times we actually say and do what we should do, and learning how to recognize and lean into what we actually want instead. Before we dig into the shoulds, this is the last call for the next Mindfuckery workshop, which runs November 6th through the 10th. I have quite literally watched this 5-day workshop change women's lives from day one, where everyone comes in kind of shy and timid, not really ready to embrace who they are and what they actually want, to going through this process, getting out of their own way, learning very simple ways to make shifts in their life and in their business. And then by day 5, the transformation that I see in them, how they have come alive, how they're owning who they actually are, how they've owned, like full body owned what they actually want, and they're already taking action on it. It's a literal night and day situation. And so if you feel right now like there's something calling you, there's something tugging at you, but you can't quite seem to get there, you keep spinning your wheels, you're in the same loop, you're in the same cycle, and you're quite frankly, you're fucking tired of it. You're probably aware that you are your own worst enemy, but you're done with that. You're ready to believe in yourself. You're ready to build your confidence, and you're ready to start seeing and feeling the difference in your life. What you've been doing, you're done with that. You're ready to go on to the next level, but you need a little bit of guidance to do that. This Mindfuckery workshop, I'm telling you, is the fucking answer. And I'm not just saying that because it's my program. I'm saying that because I've seen women do this. So if you're ready to make movement, you're ready to get out of your own way, you're ready to start having the life and the business that you actually want instead of the thing that you feel like you should, go to LauraAura.com. There's a banner at the top of the website. Register for the workshop, and I will see you very, very soon. All right. Into the shoulds of today. Listen, the shoulds are this sneaky little fucker that just subconsciously and in the wind show up in just about every decision that you make. And where does this come from? It comes from people, circumstances, situations. It comes from patriarchal bullshit. It comes from societal standards. It comes from that one thing that your one great aunt said to you one time that just fucking stuck into your head. And now that's how you make decisions. The shoulds sometimes sound like, I should go to college, get married, and have children. I should work my way up the corporate ladder. I should dress and speak more professionally. I should lose weight to look better. I should tone it down, dress more appropriately, or be a little bit more reserved. I should get the salad instead of the burger because everyone else at the table has ordered a salad. And if I get the burger, then I'm going to be the outcast. Everyone's going to be looking at me, and I don't want that. So I should get the salad. We could create an entire Encyclopedia Britannica, the kind where the salespeople show up to your door and sell you one volume at a time. That's how many different shoulds there are. And quite frankly, it's probably not even enough room. So if you're listening to this and you're nodding, you're like, yep, I see this. I know this. The shoulds show up all the time. I want to first send a little bit of a challenge your way. This is something to just start getting your mind open, to build some awareness, to notice just how many times this shit pops up, and to prove that we are living on autopilot. You're not standing around going, you know what? I'm going to should myself to death. I want to do everything that everyone else wants of me. Now, we're not consciously walking around saying that. We've been programmed to believe that. So to start to wake you up to how many times you unintentionally give away your power. I say unintentional again, because we're not walking around with the intention of like dismissing ourselves. We're walking around trying to stay safe, to be liked, to not cause a ripple or a scene, to not be seen or to be heard, to continue doing what we've always known because that feels more comfy in the moment. All these reasons, this is what the shoulds break down to. So, your challenge for today is to get a sticky note or section on your phone, and for one whole day, put a tally for every time you say the word should. I've done this exercise in a couple of my classes, and some people were like, look, after 35, I just stopped. After 50, I was like, okay, that's enough. And that's what this is all about. It's not about shaming yourself, not about being like, oh my God, I can't believe I do this so many times. Like, we're not going down that path, right? This is literally just to wake you up to the concept that you are unintentionally giving away your power by giving your decisions to everyone else. So if you're up for the challenge, do your tally and then send me a message on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. I'm at that LauraAura. I would love to hear what your tally was and just in general how you're feeling about it. Now, back to what the hell do we do about this, right? Well, that exercise is going to be fantastic because it wakes you up to the concept. It wakes you up to the idea and noticing, like, wow, I didn't even realize. And the thing about continuing to say and act on the things that you feel like you should do is it just drains your natural self. That spark in you, that excitement in you, the fulfillment in you, it starts to get very thin because you're no longer doing things that fill your tank back up. You're doing things that appease other people in your world. But you know, and you and I both know that there's something more calling you. Like your soul is hungry for something. There's this depth, this fulfillment that you're just so ready to wrap your arms around. There's a stirring inside of you, right? You want to feel good. You want to be happy. You want to be fulfilled. You want to be excited. You want to have fun and enjoy your life, your career, your relationships, your time by yourself. But continuing to live through the shoulds continuously puts you in the state of exhaustion that can't be fucking described. You know, the feeling where you get to the end of the day and you're like, I did a bunch of shit today and I don't feel like any of it matters. Or I did a ton today. I poured myself out. And why do I feel so drained? Why do I feel so uninspired? Why do I feel like it wasn't enough? My friend, a really big reason could be because you are acting on what you feel like you should instead of truly honoring what you want. So that's the first place to start is honoring what you want, or at least leaning into the curiosity of what that might be. If you don't have it all spelled out perfectly, black and white, this is exactly what I want, then that's okay. And if the want is something really big and outlandish, like I want to live on the ocean for the rest of my life and never speak to anybody again, you know, is that possible? Certainly. Maybe there's a variation of that that you can actually adapt into your life. So the first question is to lean into, what do I actually want? Now, the great thing about this is these can be micro decisions, meaning, yes, we have the want, the bigger picture want of your life, for your business, for your money, for your relationships. But really starting to hone back into yourself, taking your power back, comes from honoring the wants in the micro decisions. And the way you do this is start honoring the pause, pausing before you decide, pausing before you say yes, pausing before you dismiss an idea. That autopilot thing, it just continuously runs. And when you can really start to harness the power of the pause, meaning before you jump in, before you make a decision, before you do anything, you're simply pausing. Now, this is a couple of seconds. You can do this silently. You can even say, like, hey, I would love to think about this. Let me get right back to you. If you're by yourself, it might just look like sitting back or taking a quick walk or getting up and dancing and just like feeling into yourself. The pause gives you this still moment for you to be able to tap back into yourself. So instead of continuing on the autopilot loop, now we're breaking that. Now we're getting back into ourselves and saying, okay, let me feel this for a second. Instead of doing what I should, instead of appeasing other people, instead of saying yes when I wanted to say no, what do I want or need in this moment? So, to the example earlier, you're out to lunch with a bunch of coworkers or friends. Everyone goes around the table and orders the chicken salad. It comes down to you. You're the last one. So, everyone's looking at you. The power of the pause in this situation is when everyone else is ordering, you're asking yourself, what do I actually want to eat today? And when you tune in and your body's like, I'm really craving a burger, your body is forever communicating with you, by the way. So, especially if you're in a certain part of your cycle, maybe red meat is the thing that you need. Maybe you're a vegetarian, but you really want a burger, so you go for the veggie burger, right? Like, listen to what your body is saying. And then here's the gutsy moment, my friend, is when the waiter or waitress comes to you and they say, what would you like today? You pause for a second, you take a nice deep breath, and then you confidently say, I would love to have the burger. And everyone's probably going to chit chat and someone's going to say something and someone's going to be like, oh my gosh, I was going to order that too, but I didn't feel like I could. Chances are there's going to be somebody that changes their order, right? Like when we make gutsy decisions for ourselves, we give other people the permission that they don't need, but sometimes need to hear to do it themselves as well. This is what I call a micro decision. Instead of doing what you felt like you should do, you did something that you wanted instead. So, guess what? You eat the burger, you eat the veggie burger, you feel better about yourself. You feel good and nourished from the inside out. The rest of the day, you're full. You're not thinking about being hungry, and that allows you to focus more on your work. When you focus more on your work, then you get more done or you feel more accomplished. And then when you go home, guess what? You're not fucking thinking about your work anymore. This is the power of micro decisions. This is why I always tell you never underestimate the power of micro decisions of honoring what you want, because this has a domino effect. It ripples into the bigger picture. It allows you to feel fulfilled. In this case, we're talking about food and nutrition, yes, but this happens in so many other areas of your life. The power of the pause is the disruptor. This is where you get to take the keys and the driver's seat back. This is where you begin to wake up and honor yourself. And is this selfish? Is this over needy? Is this being arrogant? Is this being whatever? No, that's all just more conditioned bullshit that's been fed to you. This is called truly nurturing yourself. And by doing that, you get to be a better version of you. And when you're a better version of you, you get to support the people around you even more and probably even better. So let's use the Powerback process to break the habit of using the word should. If you're not familiar with the Powerback process, it is a simple way to shift your thoughts, feelings, and actions in the moment. It's an acronym. It's AURA, aura, pun fully intended, and it's designed to help you get back into your own energy, make decisions on what you want and you need, and to get out of your own way so that you can actually start doing the things that you actually want. So, when we're talking about decisions, micro decisions of what you should do versus what you want to do, the first step is the sticky note. It's the awareness, it's noticing, it's waking yourself up to the idea that I have another choice. I just didn't realize it. So, when you catch yourself saying, I should lower my prices. I should wear the black outfit instead of the hot pink one because I don't want people to notice me. I should keep my mouth shut because I don't want to voice an opinion because that might rock the boat and that might cause problems. I should get the salad because everyone else is. You're literally going to notice how many times this fucker pops up. And it's actually quite enlightening and empowering to be like, okay, how many of these can I start to reclaim? So when you notice, you're aware of the word should in your decision making, then you can go and you can start unpacking it. In this particular scenario, I like to look at it like, okay, what has this kept me safe from before? How has this helped me in the past? Where did this originate from? Because if we can understand the why behind why we're doing things, why we're saying things, it can just soften the entire scenario and help us to have a better understanding of ourselves, which eliminates, or at least we're trying to eliminate, then blaming ourselves or feeling shameful or going down that spiral. This also starts to kind of neutralize it. So when we're like, okay, I used to say should because I didn't want to stand out in this particular scenario. And I can see why I did that before, but I've grown, I've evolved, and I'm ready to start being myself more. I'm ready to start showing up more as myself. I'm ready to start being seen. That's when you can shift into R, which is to reframe it. This is where you ask yourself the almighty, so important question: what do I actually want? I want to wear the pink outfit. I want to have the burger. I want to charge premium prices. I want to take the day off. I want to stay home instead of going to the fucking party. I want to voice my opinion about this very important subject. This allows you to really start honing in on your power. I mean, you can feel that shift already happening even as we're speaking today. This is why you start to stand up a little taller, and you might still be nervous about this. I'm not saying that fear isn't going to be present. I'm just saying that you start to tap back into who you actually are and what you actually want. And this is a powerful place to be. It's like you really start to get grounded in yourself. You really start to say, you know what? I realize how many times I've gone outside of myself. I realize how many times I've chosen other things and people before myself. And once you start to reclaim this, reframe it, really step into it, and then you act on it, which is the last step to take aligned action, this is where you're choosing. This is where you're actually wearing the pink outfit. This is where you're actually ordering the burger. This is where you're actually upping your prices on your website. When you start to do that and make these micro decisions, this fills your tank. You start to remember who you are, what you want, how you want to feel. You begin to empower yourself. You begin to remember. And as you start doing this with tiny, tiny decisions, you start to build your confidence. You start to build momentum within yourself. And then you realize, you know what? I'm not willing to settle for anything that's going to drain my fucking energy. I am no longer going outside of myself to make decisions. And I'm no longer going to put people, circumstances, or situations ahead of who I actually am. When you honor your desires and your wants, you start to feel connected again. You begin to feel grounded, alive, fulfilled. Choosing you is not selfish, my friend. Choosing you is necessary. Because when you choose you, you get to do all the things that you were called to do on this earth. You shine differently. You vibrate on a higher level. The impact that you get to have on other people is immeasurable. And all because you said yes to you. And if that's not taking your power back, then I don't know what the fuck is. So my challenge to you today is, one, start with a sticky note. Start to notice how many times you say should. And then I challenge you to choose yourself once today. Notice when you say should and give yourself permission to act on your want and desire instead. Just one. Start to see how that feels in your body. Start to introduce the concept to your mind, your body, and your soul that, hey, we're going to maybe make a little bit of change around here. We're going to start honoring what we want. And I know that might be uncomfortable for a little while, but we're in this together. I promise you, once you start to get a taste of it, you're not going to want to go back. I'd love to hear how this landed for you today. So connect with me on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. I'm at that LauraAura. Send me a message. What stood out to you? What shifted inside of you today? What woke up for you? And if you're ready to take this healing journey, this self-expression, this clarity, confidence, and momentum to a whole nother level, the Mindfuckery Workshop starts next week. We run November 6th through the 10th. I'm telling you, it's fucking life-changing. You can grab your seat at LauraAura.com. There is a banner at the top of the page, and I'll see you on the inside very, very soon. Again, I'm at that LauraAura, and until I see you next time, stay gutsy.